I'm Nicholeen Peck, and I teach communications, relationships, parenting, all through the lens of self-government. And in this video, I'm answering the question, can you change from an introvert to an extrovert? So what do you think? Can you change from an introvert to an extrovert? This is definitely a debated question, and there are different perspectives out there. I am definitely more extroverted, but sometimes I have introverted tendencies. Here's one thing that I want us to keep in mind. Being an introvert is not bad, and being an extrovert is not bad, although extroverts can annoy introverts and introverts can annoy extroverts. So that definitely can happen. In this video, we're going to be talking about if you truly can change from an introvert to an extrovert, and if so, what you might want to do to make that change. So can you change from an introvert to an extrovert? I have a friend, she is one of my best friends, and she is an introvert. And she told me, she said, Nicholeen, I'm an introvert, my husband's an introvert, all of my children are introverts. And she said, so there was a time where I decided this is not okay with me. Not that being an introvert is bad. She'll tell you all the great things about being an introvert. I mean, she's totally fine being alone. She fuels with some of that alone time. She can really get into her own thoughts and come up with some really great ideas and content. She's super creative and she uses this time to create. She also is so smart. Every time she talks to me, I'm like, whoa, I just learned something new again. Now that doesn't mean she's always saying everything, right? She's not going to be talking like nonstop. Wait, or is she? Okay, here's the deal. She actually talks a ton, a whole lot more than she used to, because she decided that she wants to be an extrovert. Well, or more extroverted, let's say. And she wanted her children to have some chance to develop some extrovert tendencies as well. So she started signing them up for things they wouldn't normally do, things that push them outside of their comfort zone. She started speaking up and stepping out and setting the example for her children that they needed to get out there and do more. Now, here's an interesting thing. One of her children has totally changed. Not so much an introvert anymore, but definitely extroverted now. In fact, it's interesting to see that there's another child that seems to be doing the same thing, where at first it seemed like everyone was introverts. Now they're not so much. So this is really cool. What did she do? That's what everybody wants to know. This doesn't mean that one is better than the other. Introverts and extroverts see the world through a different lens. They refuel in different ways, and they associate with people slightly differently. But you know what? Those differences in the communications really do bring a great kind of like salt and pepper quality to our whole society. We need people to be different and see things differently. But what if you could see things like an introvert with all of that depth and still reach out and be the life of the party? All right, before I get to the answer to my question about how to be an introvert and an extrovert, click that subscribe button. There's a lot of information on this channel about introverts, extroverts, communication, and ways that you can improve your bonding and relationships with other people. You're not going to want to miss the videos that come out every day. The way that you maintain that depth of an introvert, but also nurture that part of you that you want to turn into an extrovert, is by choosing to become an ambivert. Now, ambiverts or omniverts, some people call them, are basically people that can function as both an introvert or an extrovert. In fact, I have a video on this channel all about being an ambivert. So if you're more interested in that, then be sure to go and find that video about, I think it's called What is an Ambivert, or How do I know if I'm an ambivert, or something like that. If you choose to become an ambivert, then what you do is you choose to allow yourself to think of alone time and time with people as both beneficial to you. So you decide, I can fuel this way and I will, and I can fuel this way and I will. Now, many times the reason why we fuel either alone or with others is just because of how we are raised or because of the experiences that we've had in our life. Some people just revert to certain things because of certain experiences that they've had. Maybe their parents were a certain type of personality, so they just learned how to be that personality too, a lot like my friend. So if you are going to choose to be an ambivert and choose to refuel both ways, then what you have to do is you have to step out of your comfort zone. Really, at the end of the day, if you're going to change from being an introvert to an extrovert or an extrovert to an introvert, you have to step out of your comfort zone. So the introvert is afraid of reaching out to the other people and trusting other people. But the extrovert is afraid of being alone. So both people have fears and they both have to step out of their comfort zone and take that fear straight on and do something with it and decide that it's safe. And after you've stepped out of your comfort zone multiple times, it won't seem scary anymore. At this point, you can decide that being with other people, being vulnerable, being open is actually something that is enjoyable. Now you have to make that decision consciously. You have to say, this is enjoyable. I'm fueled by this. I actually feel good doing this. Now you're still gonna be able to fuel when you're alone. But if you can fuel when you're with people too, boom, then you've got the magic of ambivert. You can be both verts. And you don't ever have to feel like you've got to run off and have some alone time. Sometimes for an introvert, that's the hardest part, is they feel like, why can't I maintain that same social energy as other people? Don't be hard on yourself. Just keep stepping out of your comfort zone and keep deciding that being with other people and opening up to them can be helpful, relaxing, and therapeutic. A lot of it does have to do with the way that you choose to process what's going on around you. Deliberately deciding what type of vert you want to be is liberating. It's truly freeing. Part of it involves changing your mind about some things, and then part of it involves making different choices for your actions. You can trap yourself anywhere if you want to, or you can set yourself free. If you've enjoyed this video, there is another video I know you're gonna like. It's called The Expectation Trap versus the Cycle for Success. That video is a class that I give to people all over the world who are wanting to master themselves, take more control, have better self-regulation and self-government. So look for that video now, The Expectation Trap versus the Cycle for Success, and take more control over who you are becoming each and every day.